Hey guys, how's it going? It's Miyoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. I'm finally live from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? I bet that you are all asleep. Let's see. Let's see if any of you are still awake. Sorry, I'm so late. I had a really heavy stomach ache because I'm a female. Like I have a lot of pain sources, you know. We were just talking about pain last week, right? But yeah, and how I can detach myself, my emotional or what's the word, mental state from physical state. Still, it's really hard. Like I couldn't stand, so I couldn't take a shower, you know. That's why it took a while. Like I was laying down, like crawling, like it hurts, you know. And it comes and goes, you know, because I guess the female body is you know, get has this system because it wants you to practice, you know, giving a birth or something because that's what you do before you give a birth, right? Anyway, hello, thanks for coming. Thank you so much. I'm so glad that you are awake. Thank you. My throat is okay now, I feel, right? Like I didn't go to the clinic anyway. But now I have a different pain source, so that's crazy. Anyway, yay! Taiwan blockade. That's a hard word. Anyway, if around Taiwan, if it's blocked by China, then it would meet the. It's like a criteria for our like a security law, which Abe administration passed. Basically, we can cooperate with other countries, even though it's not our country's battle or war itself. Let me ask ChatGPT. I actually previously, like before I turn it on, I asked ChatGPT for explanation because it's kind of difficult to let you guys know the background. So, Prime Minister Takaichi said that if China blockades Taiwan, it could pose an existential threat. That's this. Sonritsu Kiki. This is the big word, right? Existential threat. That's the term used in the security law, which was passed in 2015, during Abe administration. But yeah, it could pose an existential threat to Japan's security, right? She said that it could, if China blockades Taiwan, it could pose an existential threat to Japan's security, right? Like it would endanger Japan's survival. So, and the more background, her remark refers to Japan's 2015 security laws, which allow the use of force to defend an ally like the US or Taiwan if Japan faces an existential threat. A blockade of Taiwan could cut off Japan's sea lanes and threaten its survival, so it might legally justify Japan's military action under those laws. So Taiwan, like Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, you know, when he was actively saying like maybe even when he was our prime minister, I don't exactly remember he started to say that, but he repeatedly said that Taiwan emergency is Japan's emergency or urgency. Like I don't know which word you use, but like emergency, you know, like not a regular situation, like when China does something to Taiwan, and then that means that because it includes our sea lanes, you know, which is vital to our security and just existing as a country, you know, economy and everything. So yeah, and then what else can I say? A situation that threatens Japan's survival when attack on another country could endanger Japan's existence and the lives of its people. I hope you understand the background. But anyway, so it's discussed. But the existential threat, the term existential threat, was added to the security law which Abe wanted to pass by the coalition party Komeito back then. Komeito is no longer the coalition party. Now Ishin, the innovation party, is the partner of LDP now. But back then, Komeito, pro-China Komeito, was the coalition partner of LDP. So even though Abe was in power and he was trying so hard, to make it a good system, still like he had to add this term, right? Like only if like Japan's, existential, there's like existential threat to Japan, only then Japan can cooperate with other countries, that sort of things. Because pro-China powers, including Komeito, doesn't want Japan to, get armed again, to go back to a normal country again, because they are imprinted or brainwashed by China's like rhetoric that Japan is evil, Japan is bad, that Japan should shrink and die and that sort of things. Anyway, so hey, good to see you guys. Is her approval rating 80 something now? Yeah, 82 or so. It's like super high. But actually, do you know Koizumi? Like, there's now our defense minister, Shinjiro Koizumi. He comes from this politician family background, right? And his brother also is an actor, like a rich family, politician family, and his father, Junichiro Koizumi, was the prime minister of Japan back in like 2000, early 2000, and that was Bush era, right? And he had, what was the sound? He had such a high rating, approval rating, support rate, and it was 86 or something. Let me look it up. Like, so his number was higher. Koizumi Junichiro. Let's see. 支持率。最高支持率. Why is it so hard to... Wait, maybe I should just look up the Takaichi one so that it would probably refer to that. This, let's look at this. 80%. At first we were saying or hearing that Takaichi administration, Prime Minister Takaichi, is like, she had a good rating, and then we saw the number of like the age groups, and like teenagers and those who are in their 20s, like over 80% of the people supported her. So that was shocking to us, right? Like younger people in America. If you look at New York City, for example, we heard the news about Mamdani. What's wrong with people in New York? The guy in apron, the black, like she's naked wearing the thing and like rapping, and she's now a mayor. Like, it's a mayor election, right? So crazy. And he's supported by young people, right? And super duper left. Like a according to Trump, Mamdani is a communist, right? And I did look through his policy that Japanese people are talking about, and it did, like, it does look like a communist agenda. So yeah, it's crazy. Our younger generation is really like conservative, 80% at least, like I can tell, Ms. Takaichi is conservative and not right wing, but still like it's like in the big picture, she's on the right side, right? And then I look at New York and super duper leftist, both like the same age group of people. So that's crazy. But anyway, Koizumi was really good too. Yeah, it says 2001 Koizumi cabinet. 88%. Oh my gosh. He had 88%. You know how Shinjiro Koizumi, our current defense minister, he is very popular. He's handsome and he's a good buddy. He's a bestie of Heg Seth now. So that's great. But like because he was born in this politician family. Many people pick on him for saying things in an interesting way and so on. He gets picked on very easily, but still, like because of that, he does have a good background. So anyway, so 2001, 88%, and then. Ishiba cabinet, the Ishiba administration, right before Takaichi, the last one that we had, his support rate, it says, was 52%. Yeah. And also, Japanese people, now we are talking about, as I might have told you, like, especially like young women, they are looking at the fashion and makeup and the pens that Ms. Takaichi, Prime Minister Takaichi, is using, and also her bag, like a purse or bag. That's a bag, right? It's big. So, yeah, it's and now we have a name for it. It's called Sana Katsu. Sana, people on social media and young generation, they are calling Prime Minister Takaichi Sana. Her name is Sanae, but the young people make it shorter to look like sound cool. It sounds like a Korean name, kind of, like young people like that. There's an idol, I think Korean idol or something named Sana. And so probably it's the influence of that. I don't know, like I'm just guessing, but it's the culture, of young people to abbreviate like that. So Sana and Katsu is like activity. And yeah, I don't want to bore you with Japanese, but there's this phrase, oshikatsu in Japanese, and osu is to support, to just favor somebody, idolize somebody, and kind of worship kind of thing, like really love somebody. And then you say katsu, abbreviation for katsudo, like activities, and so like really support activity. So we kind of, took, I guess that people that created the word Sana Katsu to, show support for Prime Minister Takaichi. It probably comes from the puns of oshikatsu, to put activity katsu at the end of a word. Yeah, it has that sense. Anyway. Pew! Hayoko Fox be with you, yay! May the fox be with you. I was thinking about Shinto earlier because I was in so much pain, right, for being a female. And you know how, yeah, I'm reminded by May the Force be with you thing, and it's Shinto idea, is depicted in the movie series. And in Shinto, we have shrines, right? And in order to get to the shrine itself, like the sacred part, the building and so on, and with a mirror. In order to get there, you need to go through the gate, right? And the road to the shrine, I mean, it's part of the shrine, but the main place, and then there's a road or street that goes to there, and it's called Sando. And that's exactly the same word of like female street for babies to come through. And if you, and the tummy part of the like a scientific name, for it is can be said as the same as one of our expressions about the shrine, and it's pretty divine, like our female body is divine and it's connected. It's hard to explain, especially in briefly, but I was just thinking about it because it's really painful, and it's hard to be a female sometimes, but then I think about that sort of divine things and I feel better. Yeah. Emergency. Yes, urgent situation. Taiwan is a lovely country. Protecting it is important. I'm glad that Japan and Taiwan have become friends. Yeah, I mean, we've been great. Taiwan is different from South Korea, for example, where the leftist ideology is really, really strong. And even the conservative people in South Korea, they have this really such a strong victimhood of Japan's annexation. To be fair, our standpoint is that we didn't want to do that, annexation, but we needed like a fortress, of that power from the land. We needed some place to be strong, and then South Korea was not strong enough, and we needed to do something, right? And our prime minister at the time didn't want to have the annexation, but he got assassinated, and then it happened. Before that, we checked the international community, like, hey, we are gonna do it. Any opposition? And there's none. So we did it, and then we get complaints. And even though like we taught the language and everything and made the infrastructure, which they still use and so on. Anyway, it can cause a lot of controversy, so I'm not gonna get into that. But yeah, and but anyway, South Korea after the World War II, they they need to rebuild their country, right? And then Japan gave a massive amount of money, like double the annual budget of South Korea. And then the government at the time didn't tell the people that the money is from Japan and so on, even though it took a lot. I'm not going to say everything because I don't know the details of how they rebuilt the country. But like it's like a miracle that, South Korea rebuilt itself and so on. So like there are backgrounds like that, like it's kind of complex. And then we had a treaty in 1965 that everything is done, like war-related stuff, like reparations and so on. Everything is done, right? And we give the money, it's settled. Like 2 treaties, I think, like it's done. And then they started to complain to get more money and so on. And so like it's attached to their country identity, like how they rebuilt their country. And like Japan had to be the bad guy to create that like a narrative, and also so we have to be the bad guy. Yeah, and then also leftists in Korea are basically the same as North Koreans, who want to take over South Korea to unify, right? So those leftists, especially in South Korea, are really, really active to bash Japan. Even today, even Park, the conservative president, female president, she was the president when Abe was our prime minister. Yeah, even she was bashing Japan. They had to do it sometimes because it's the thing that it's an East Asian thing. To bash Japan sometimes because it's the South Korea and China both do it sometimes. Like they abruptly just bring up this this hatred and frustration against Japan regarding history, so that they can shift the attention to somewhere else when they're going through some domestic issues. So we are like, oh, here we go again, you know. Anyway, I'm rambling. Thank you so much for your super chat. It's making me feel better. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's get some super chats. Yes. Thank you. Konnichiwa, Yoko. We love you. Have a great day. Thank you so much. You're making me have a good day. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, thank you. I love the relay of super chat. Thank you so much. I feel so much better. I was in so much pain, but now I feel so much better. Oh, Mr. Sone-san, thank you so much. 久しぶり。久しぶりです。ありがとうございます。ヨコの税金を払った。Yes! 素晴らしい。ありがとうございます。嬉しい。Yes, yes, yes. Okay, okay, okay. Now I feel good. Anyway. I'm just reading your comments. I have South Korean friends who. Oh, yeah. Speaking of South Korea, the reason why I was talking about South Korea was because Taiwan is different. Even though Taiwan was Japan during the war, you know, like Taiwan, at least like I know that they are frustrated with Japan, but at least they're really, really friendly to us, unlike South Korea. And we love we love Taiwan for it, you know. We are thankful for the friendship and all the, you know, great positive attitude, you know. And because of that, we don't talk about negative things in between. We are just moving forward, and that's amazing. It shows the strength of people in Taiwan, and like they're really mature, you know. I think that like it's the same for Hong Kong too, that the young people too, they are like not only the elderly people, you know, who went through the hard times. It's like a young generation. They know the threats surrounding them, so they are like super realistic, you know, and they probably know that, you know, fighting Japan right now is not a good idea. So so that yeah, but still, like, even though that's the main reason, I suppose, you know, but culturally we love each other. So whether it's South Korea too, like I really am grateful for the like our relation with South Korea improving. It's really like it takes a lot of energy to be in a conflict, you know, like emotionally. So I'm really glad that everybody is just settling down, you know. Anyway, South Korea, where was South Korean friends who want to move to Japan now? Did you hear that South Korea is basically passing a law to punish any citizens who criticize foreign countries such as China? Seriously? I need to check the news. They say it's an anti-hate speech law. Yeah, always a hate speech. Yeah, they will construe any criticism as hate speech. We have that sort of leftist here in Japan as well. Hate speech, like I don't know exactly what happened to our version, but it's like, yeah, we are against hate speech. I use it though, like at first it was used against us Japanese people, you know, like the leftists always siding with Chinese and Korean peoples and to bash Japan because they believe, leftists in Japan believe that Japan is a bad country due to what they imagine Japan did during the World War II and so on. Just like, you know, you Americans go through the, what it's called, the white guilt imprint, you know, like just like that, like East Asian other countries, they bash Japan, and our leftists listen to them instead of learning the correct history, because in Japan, due to the so-called post-war regime, our education is pretty anti-Japan, and it's really, yeah. So, yeah, that's why. Anyway, hey Yoko, hello. Hello from Wisconsin to you. Hello, thank you so much for coming. I'm so glad that I'm not coughing right now. I kind of feel it a little bit still, but it's much of it is gone. I'm so happy. Yeah. If I remember the history correctly, there were 45,000 Japanese on Formosa during World War II. Where is Formosa? Sorry for my ignorance. But it was North Korea that Japan occupied South Korea, and North Korea prospered because Japan modernized North Korea. Yeah, so like Korean, so yeah, the guilt imprint against Japan, and also the all that, just of course, like Japan wanna be sincere to Korea and so on. We wanna make a good relationship, right? But some leftist organizations in Korea, like they know what they're doing, they wanna, the reason why they are actually influenced by CCP too. If you look back in history and figure out like who's connected to who and so on, our expert has revealed that. So they are influenced by or supported by CCP. But some organizations in Korea, they're doing it, especially in English, to bash Japan, because of course they're working for CCP. So what that means is that Japan-US alliance is in the way of China. So they want to cut it, and in order to cut it, they are thinking that bringing down our reputation would be effective, right? Like, to show that Japan is evil and that Japan is not trustworthy, that Japan is not worth to team up with, then that's a great damage to the alliance that we have with the US. So that's what they're doing. They're using historical dispute to attack Japan to weaken our alliance with the US. So that's the expert recognition, that's pretty common in Japan. Conservatives, at least, like we have that understanding. So yeah, so that's why I personally, like, at first, when I first got interested in politics, I was talking about historical disputes, but then I realized that's their tactic. It's not really about the content of the dispute. They're using the dispute to attack Japan to get this political result. So I stopped countering that, and rather that's why I'm here talking to you, because just like this, like if we talk to each other and strengthen our alliance, then whatever they do, it doesn't matter. Of course we need to protect the our ancestors, our past generations. We need to make sure that their names are not what's the word, like, we need to protect their names. But yes. Oh, Taiwan, I see. I see. Formosa. Thank you. Let's see. What else to talk about? Super chat will be prioritized, just so you know. Good morning. こんばんは、ようこ. Testing this translator. It looks good. Any translation programs you recommend? I just use ChatGPT. Japanese and English, at least, they have a good translation. But I always, if I want to write on X, I I could like form English sentences, to polish it and so on. And that's what I was doing at first. But then, like, I want to, use time wisely. So I'm just like letting AI translate my Japanese. But yeah, when the sentences are done, though, I tell ChatGPT to make it natural because it doesn't really it it is natural, but it's like directly translating. So I'm like make it natural. Yeah. Anyway, Deepo is good too. Yeah. Oh, Cranberry is going to sleep. Good night. Thank you so much for coming. Let's see. Anything to talk about? Oh, our prime minister, by the way, she works so hard that she's not sleeping, like literally. And the other day, she had a meeting at 3 in the morning with her crew. And so her team members have to arrive at 3 a.m. too to, talk about it before their actual work starts and so on. And really, really hard work. And there are reportings by the mainstream media, like the cabinet member and so on. They are leaking the information that somebody will just, like pass out. Like, I don't know the expression in English. Like it's like a fall because out of this overwork, that's how hard she's working. And so like she posted something yesterday. I don't remember what it was, but let me see if I can get the. Let's see. Do I have it saved? Oh, here. Oh yeah, she was talking about like how she cannot, like she loves cars, so like because now that she's a prime minister, she can't use her car, and she can't go to haircut salons anymore, and blah blah blah. It's such a thoughtful post, but people in the comments are saying like, please, prime minister, go to sleep. Prime minister, if you keep living like this, you're gonna be depressed. Like, Prime Minister Takaichi, we can't laugh about it. Please go to a hair salon, get it cut. Because she says that she cuts by herself. Let me press the, I just hit that translation button here. Let me read what our Prime Minister wrote. From the day I was inaugurated as Prime Minister, the leader of the Liberal Democratic Party, I can only ride in the president's car, meaning like a prime minister car. And from the day I was appointed prime minister, only in the prime minister's car. Also, okay, LDP has a car too? Anyway, so I can no longer use my own vehicle. When leaving the residence, it causes trouble for the drivers and security officers. So on weekends, without official events, I make it a point to work in my private room or the meeting room within the residence. My current worry is that I can't go to the hair salon at night or on a weekend, so I end up cutting my hair myself for the length that's grown, only to fail and get laughed at by my husband. I've always done my hair coloring myself, but being clumsy, the color ends up patchy, so I've resolved to somehow make it to the salon on a day this year when there are no parliamentary responses. This weekend, for the first time in a while, I won't step out of the residence at all, and will focus on catching up on household chores and preparing for the budget committee. I want to recharge my energy and physical strength to face next week's continuing parliamentary week in the top form. Now that we've passed the start of winter, the temperatures have dropped, haven't they? I'm concerned about the sharp rise in influenza cases. I sincerely, like flu, I sincerely hope that everyone will prevent infections in advance through vaccinations and frequent hand washing and stay healthy. Such a thoughtful, like she needs to take care of herself. She's sacrificing herself too much. Yeah, she needs to sleep, get some sleep. Yeah, I don't think Trump sleeps either. Yeah, he's so powerful. I heard like on what's it called? What's it called? The plane that presidents get on. When they when he's on it and the media people are there, like he comes out every once in a while, like he should be sleeping, but he comes out, right, like very often, and the media people have to be there, and so on. Air Force One, right? Air Force One. Yeah. Sanae can pay for a house call from her stylist. The hair stylist can visit her and cut her hair inside her residence. Yeah, I think so too. But I think that she comes from the like ordinary family background, So like she was not rich or something like that. So I guess that she thinks differently. She should call Natsuki. I'm sure he would make house calls. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Any Yoko tax, you gotta pay Yoko tax. I haven't read this newspaper because I've been busy and so on, but it's talking about our human resources, like lacking for workers in like a labor, So senior people, elderly people are now expected to work, keep working, Yeah. At the same time, though, Takaichi is, I think the cabinet is trying to reduce the support for elderly people when it comes to like national insurance. Right now, I believe that elderly people, like super elderly people, they only have to pay for the 10% of the actual medical fee. But if they are working, I believe that they're gonna get rid of it because we need, they basically, like other age groups are paying, like regularly, I think, like my case is I am paying like 30% of the medical fee. But seniors, like because they are believed to not having jobs, they have to pay. They don't have to pay as much, but now they might have to pay more, like us. But then I ask my parents what they think about the situation, and they're like, no, because they don't get paid as much as they used to, right? And senior workers are just recognized as something different from the regular workers. And my mom was actually complaining because she's like, I'm working working the same as the younger generations, like the work quality that she's contributing is the same or better than compared to younger generations, and she doesn't get it that just because she's older, she needs to get paid less. So, man, I wonder what's going to happen to when I'm older. Like in 3 decades, I'll be like what, 70? I'm gonna be 70. Can I survive until then? Yeah, but because we are having all this like a change in demographic of population, we are talking about using senior people and also foreign workers, of course, and then AI and robots and so on. And it's all changing. But just like, the industrial revolution happened, I think that now we are in the middle of like shifting our involvement completely. So in developed countries, at least. So some people are talking about basic income. And I'm like, that's so socialism and communism. But I've been listening to like some Japanese YouTube programs, and it's interesting because they talk about that sort of shifts in my country. So yeah, what was I gonna talk about? Yeah, basic income. I don't know, like around there, like there are some interesting things, like many interesting things to talk about. Anyway, Trump said he only needs 5 hours of sleep a night. That would be nice. Yeah, but you would at least need to sleep, I believe, like 7 hours though. Japanese people, by the way, like survey wise, we don't sleep as long as the rest of the world. Hence, people work to die, literally. But yeah, man. Takaichi, though, she wants to get rid of, I believe that she wants to get rid of the work limitations, though, like to ease it, because Abe administration changed, like had a reform of like how like working hours, and because we were overworking and some people were seriously like working to die. So he wanted to change the premise, the standards on a like a global standard, but it doesn't work in Japan, because we just work hard, and if we don't do that, then we can't sustain our economy. But we took that journey, so like now we are suffering from the consequences. And Takaichi sees the problem, and she wants to, ease the regulation, and basically like to make it more free. I think, like based on our option, like we'll have more options, right? Because like what happens is that you have a main job, right? And then because you can't work too long there, you need another job, like a secondary job. And that's hectic, right? Like if you could just work longer and get paid there, that would solve everything. But because you can't do that, you need another job, and it's complicating and making other issues. So, but on the other hand, there are people who overwork, and some people have died, and there are families who are, work like they're like activist type of people, whose family members have committed a suicide and so on due to overwork. So there's the conflict in Japan. Japan needs a better work-life balance. It will likely to lead higher birth rates. No, actually no. We need to work hard and get paid. The problem is that we are not getting paid well. And the more burdens of taxation and so on. So if we get paid, then we can invite girls out and so on, young people, it's hard for them to even to get on a date because their payment, is not enough. Like they're having a hard time just to pay to live for themselves, to make a living. So like all the other things, they can't even afford a car, in many cases. And it's like, hey, let's go for a drive. but I don't have a car, you know? So you need to rent a car. It's not an embarrassing thing anymore to rent a car. You know, like my husband and I, we don't even have a car. And we sometimes rent a car if needed. And yeah, that's the case. And it's changed a lot. I bet that situations are similar in other countries as well. But yeah. And also COVID-19 made it worse because not only economically but also like it basically cut the ties in society. So it's hard for younger generations to meet each other, you know. There are less opportunities to get together, so if they don't get together, then they don't get to find their partners. So all the social premises have changed. And yeah. And also arranged marriage was a thing in Japan, but now it's like leftists especially, they think that it's outdated and so on. And so, hey, my husband is home. I feel relieved now that he's home. There's a mail for you. ポストマンが来ました。Actually, I was listening to this interesting podcast. I mean, it's an actual like a YouTube channel, but what they were talking about was interesting because they were talking about. I have a bunch of screenshots, by the way, because I want to remember. They were talking about jealousy, and they based on a book that they read. They were talking about how jealousy became a popular, like it became a thing after democracy spread. And in democracy, and also the notion that humans should be equal, like we should have equal rights, like starting from France and so on, you know, like we are equal, we need equality, right? And that created the society with jealousy, like too much jealousy and so on, because you get jealous when you are almost equal with others, right? You don't get jealous of Trump, for example, because he's super rich, or Elon Musk, like super rich. You don't dare to compare yourself, right? But your neighbors and so on, or your coworkers, you compare yourself and you get jealous, or other people will get jealous of you and so on, and the equality and so on actually makes the society worse and so on. Oh, super chat, thank you, Nathan. Thank you. Cool. Thank you. Does husband's son understand English as well as you? His listening skill is getting better and better. So what happens sometimes is that I translate for him, in political activities, and often he notices that I'm skipping the translation. He's like, oh, you skip this. You need to say it like exactly like I did because there's a political meaning to it, Also, his speaking too is getting better. Until the AI became common, I was his translator, 24/7. I'm his auto translator, right? But one day when I started to use ChatGPT, I realized this translation is actually good, right? Like it's good enough to communicate with our people. So I'm telling him to just translate, right? By himself, like using any AI that he uses. Yeah, and then as he is doing it by himself, he's learning. You gotta do it and see the patterns in sentences and so on. So yeah, he's doing good. Oh, thank you for super chat. The ace, Yoko's husband tax. Yay! Buy some things nice. Thank you. He's saying thank you. Yeah. Yoko was, does the people of Japan think about socialism? Not good. We don't like socialism and communism, but the irony is that we are influenced by socialism because right before and during the World War II, people on the right side even, they were influenced by socialism. So, for example, as a result, Japan has national insurance system, and it's national. It's what Obama wanted to do, I guess, like Obamacare, you know. But yeah, we have it and we love it. So, but the overall like total equality and totalitarianism and so on, we are not, we don't like it. Because we can see what is happening in North Korea, or we can see what is happening in China, you know, the totalitarian state. They have, they say that, or they pretend that their country is doing well, but we can see right through that they have issues because of all the, you know, control of the country. So, yes. 何がソーシャリズムがおい管理してるってこと？ああ、確かに徴収されるという意味で。So we have a system that my husband just told me about our system that, like, if you belong to a company, you know, you are employed, right? And then when you get paid, the money that you like you have in your hand, you know, like the actual amount that you get is actually way lower than the amount that you earned, because the company, through the company, you know, you are actually paying the taxes for the country. So like, by the time it gets the payment gets in your hands, it's already, the taxation is already withdrawn. So it's less money, you know, you don't do it by yourself, it's automatic. So at the end of the fiscal year, we need to make sure that they're not taking way too much, you know, like, because there can be some changes. So yeah, that's what happens. China, yeah. So did you how different the meeting between Chinese president and Trump compared to the Japanese lady or the South Korean guy? Xi Jinping did not give anything or promised cash, just that he would allow him get some minerals and buy some soybeans. Yeah. It was such a busy week of leaders meeting each other. Yeah. In on Japanese news coverage, what I saw was like Trump smiling, and then Xi Jinping just was like blank. You know, he was trying desperately to ignore Trump. So that was interesting. これはディープル日本語翻訳のテストです。新しい学校が好きで恥ずかしくないです。いいですね。Let's see. We have the syntax system here in Germany. Oh, really? Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard though to, yeah. But Takaichi, what Takaichi is trying to do though is that you do need taxation, you know, to a certain degree, right? Like the degree is the, like you need to determine how much, but still, like, yeah. But now, like, all the discussions in the past, you know, until she took power, is that, oh, we don't have enough, like they were talking about so-called like primary balance and so on, like the cost and the debt and the money you actually have and so on. And it's they kept talking about that, and also there's a limitation of how much we can use and so on, and we need to cut everything and so on. But she's like, I would just make our country be able to earn enough money to cover all the things that I want to do, So she's gonna just make money, out of like, instead of like taxation, she is trying to rebuild the systems in Japan so that the money will flow. So then we will have more money for our country and so on. Oh, Super-chat, thank you. The coffee's coming back. Keep Japan Japanese. Thank you. They take a fourth of my paycheck every time. Yoku ring. Katsuage da. That is a katsuage. Yeah. Aloha from Hawaii. Aloha. By the way, speaking of aloha, my this woman that I used to work with, she was actually my boss, but like I was at the because I was young, I have worked at a mall, I mean 2 malls or more, right? And this lady that I was working under, she after me she quit the job, and then now she teaches the like a hula dance. Aloha. The Hawaiian dance, like she's teaching that, like because she got into it so much enough to now she's teaching. So that's hula dance, hula. Yes, she's teaching. So I feel close to Hawaii. Yeah. Yoko-san, do you have a Ko-fi account or a Patreon for donations? They keep less than Google. I have Patreon, but I'm not doing what I have written that I will do. But I do have the page. It's Random Yoko, and it's there. Thank you for asking. She's a Kuma hula. What is that? Yeah. But yeah, taxation, at least Japanese conservative recognition is that, so we take all the money, from like abroad, like a little bit from all the citizens, and so we will have it a lot so that we can, bam, do something awesome, right? But the past administrations didn't know how to use that money well. But at least now Takaichi is there, so that's good. Okay, Kuma, aka Sensei. Woo! Sensei. Cool. But yeah, it's let's see, what else did I want to talk about? This democracy thing was interesting, though. That I didn't think about jealousy like that. Because back in the day, like, so jealousy happens, with those who you think are close to you, but are in a better position than you. Like, pretty similar, but a little bit better or lower, and you just feel something, something negative. But it happens because it's equal, everyone is equal. But back in the day when there were kings and emperors and so on, their status was so high and everyone was poor, compared to that. So like you didn't compare and not much complain. Generally, not all countries, and it's interesting. But now we are all prospering, and and we have more things, more freedom, more options, and now we blame it on others. So that's it's like a byproduct of the democratic society. So that's very interesting. Pure democracy would destroy itself, or at least that is what the American founders wrote. Yeah, that I think they are right, because like I was listening to the coverage, on the program, and they explained it well too, and I realized the problem of democracy. I didn't like it. Japan is a democratic nation. So it's not like you guys told me that America is like a constitutional republic. Is that it? But in Japan, we just say like we're a democratic nation because we decide our representatives and so on, and that we have freedom of speech and blah blah blah. Yeah, more of a democracy. Yeah. What else to talk about? Oh, I've been speaking for an hour. An hour just flies by. Am I getting older? By the way, so earlier I was laying down, because I had a stomach ache, and then I was looking, like I was laying down on my couch. I was looking at the clock, and I'm like, let's count my pulse, like I did. Like I don't remember where, but I touched my vessel. Is it vessel? What is it called? Right? And then I was counting, and then it was interesting. My pulse was exactly 1 second. Like each pulse was 1 second. So I'm like 1, 2, 3, and like the clock moved in the same way. I'm like, wow. And then I looked up is that healthy? Like a minute, 60 pulses, and then it's like the lowest of the good zone. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'm good enough. Oh, thank you for the super chat. I've been watching the Japanese maze game show. You have seen it before. It's called the Denryu Irairabo. I'm not sure. Is it old? But let me look it up. The mazes are fun to see. Like I don't want to go into one, but 90s, right? Yeah. I think I have seen it. Like I have a good picture. So maybe. Now I remember. Oh yes. I loved that show growing up. This, right? Like that you gotta do this. Oh, that brings me back. Oh, man, TV back then was so fun without without political correctness. It was a little kinky though in Japan, I have to say. And growing up, I didn't know what to think. Like I knew that it was like kind of kinky or erotic, and I'm like, what am I gonna do with this? And it's kind of awkward watching it with your parents. Good times. But it was mostly the shows were crazy. Takeshi Kitano was really, Takeshi's Castle. They were so crazy. And Tunnels too. Many good comedians back then. Even Ken Shimura. I really liked Ken Shimura. And I realized I was so stupid back then, because now I wouldn't watch that sort of show. But I mean, Dorifu is great. But growing up, I liked the Bakatono, where Like it's like a castle, and he's the prince of the castle, Ken Shimura. And he has this white face, and then right, like Japanese style, and then kimono. But he was kinky, but it was funny to me growing up. So yeah, Kuma to ieba, I have been reading a lot about bear attacks on NHK. Yes. Do you think there's a really big problem, or do you is the media being sensational? No, it's really happening. Bears are our actual problem. That bears are killing our people, and now even our self-defense forces are dispatched, I believe. Soon or already dispatched. Probably did in a week or something after the request. But I read somewhere, see this one, this Japanese news here, I will translate to see how to say that in English. Conflicts between brown bears and humans intensifying in Eastern Europe too, Population growth due to protection disrupts traditional coexistence. The Romanian government, is it Romanian or Romanian? Romanian government estimates that approximately 10,000 to 13,000 brown bears inhabit the country. This is considered the largest population in Europe. According to European media, in Romania, at least 27 people have died from brown bear attacks since 2004. Yeah. But somebody made a comment here, and I'm gonna translate that. It says let's see. This means that the number of brown bears per capita in Romania significantly exceeds that in Japan. That's interesting. That's an interesting perspective. Some people on reply sections are smart, and it's really, really great, but yeah. But mostly people are, what? No. 一回片付けたけどね、引いたんです。Yeah, but anyway, bears. So now hunters are practicing, like there are certified hunters, but I saw the footage of like they're shooting and so on. So yeah, it's so crazy. Samurais will have to have guns now, just like back in the day. Hideyoshi told me he got rid of our guns, but no, that he got rid of our swords, right? Yeah, and the guns were modern, but yeah, now we need to be armed with guns if you're living in a countryside. But that happens because I think that our people just didn't know it well enough, even though we have like a myths and what's called like anecdotes and so on from like ancient stories, depicting how bears are scary and that they take lives of our people and so on. But I guess that like as we grow as a country, like especially economically, like we forgot the scary part of the nature and how to coexist, that we have to really respect the nature, that Japanese people just naturally knew that by instinct because we have many earthquakes and so on. The reason why we are polite and also we know how to, live in like in a collectivism type of society is because we have many natural disasters, right? Like that's the way to survive. We don't have the luxury of what's it called, like individualism, for example. We need to be together to survive together, but people were focusing on how to make our lives better, I guess, with technology and so on, and how to have to have a good housing and so on. And nature, the image that you have of nature is really just good, right? Like calm, relaxing, healing, that sort of things. And some people, in some places, like they went way too far in the forest. And in this place that I saw on the news was intentionally they got rid of the like the border of the forest or the mountains and the residential area, thinking that it's cool, you know? They're like, oh, there's no boundary. It's like attached. We are living with the nature, that sort of things. Bears come down, you know? And also, like, it's largely affected by the trees in the mountains, because like bears eat the, what's it called, like the specific things, you know, of trees. But and there are some kinds, but they didn't have enough this year, and that's why they're coming down to get more foods, you know, especially before they hibernate. Yeah. 昔話, yes. Yeah, like I know this really scary story in Japan about a bear. Like roughly though, like I was shocked by the story because it depicted how like such a tragedy it becomes, you know, when bears attack a family, and that how there was a, like in the story there was a, I think it's he's so loud. Creating so much noise. Anyway, there was a, it might be based on a real story, I don't even know, but like there was a pregnant woman and how bears eat from the stomach, you know. It's so scary. Sorry to share that with you when you're going to sleep. I hope that you're not gonna have a nightmare. Yoko, hello, thanks for coming. I guess when when somebody says Yoko, I gotta say like Alex, right? that's the way to do it. Yeah, bears in Japan. Actually the area is large, you know. It's like half of Japan, isn't it? Like from Tohoku area to the almost like Osaka area. I don't know. There was like, I think I saw a bear somewhere. Like not a day goes by without seeing the bear coverage, because people do die now, you know. And also like even the men, those who what's called newspaper people, you know, they usually deliver the newspaper when even before the sun rises up. So that's usually like 4 in the morning or 5 or somewhere around there. And oh, I see Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi. What does it say? Oh, she's gonna retire. That's what it says. Trump's America, it says. It's a series, I guess. I haven't read it. Talking about, I don't even know who these are, but just ordinary Americans, by the way, probably. I see the picture here. Who are these people? Just American people? Just somebody living in, for example, what? She's from Guatemala and she's a citizen. Another is Portland suburb area. Influencer, Heidi St. John, 55 years old. Who's this guy? I can't see the explanation. Anyway, and talking about China, and they have the whole China page here. And then, wait, bear. I think I saw bear coverage. Let's see. Elon Musk getting so much, paid so much. What? I know I saw it. Can't see that. Oh, see, Kuma. In Hawaii, Kuma means sensei. But Kuma in Japanese, it's bears. Bear countermeasurement. Please have speed. Yeah. Oh, this is it says this whole page is about the parliament discussion, the details of what they talked about. So in the diet too, they talk about bears. It's that's how serious and big the issue is. So that this is what it looks like in the parliament. Oh, this woman, Satsuki Katayama, she's super smart too. Motegi too is smart, but this female, she's a finance minister. She is really good now. It's cool. All the people that spoke. Oh, I don't see Reiwa. I guess they don't have enough. Yeah. Anyway, Kuma, right? So they're talking about bears and also like how to revitalize the like a local areas, historical recognition, foreigner policies on foreigners, and intervention in other country. I mean, from other countries in election interference, right? Election interference by foreign powers. This topic is a huge topic in Japan, one of the huge topics in Japan. And I know that you guys don't like it because you're gonna say like, oh, Russia, right? But we are actually saying, conservatives are saying like, oh, Russia, because it is Russia, and we have evidence. So yeah, and China too does it. You know how, but Russia made it easier for us to grasp what they're doing. You know, because what they do is to just take advantage of stupid comments on X and amplify it because they have so many accounts, you know, using their technology. Like it's not a real account, but they just have many accounts, and they can, when they find a good one, they can take advantage of. They amplify it with many accounts, and then get it onto the trends. So stupid people here get brainwashed by that, and so on and so on. And recently, what came to the light is that they discussed it in the diet actually, that we have weekly magazines. You know, it's like kind of like a sometimes our weekly magazines, you know, like Bunshin and so on, their reports are great because it's not as strict, that their rules are not as strict as newspapers, so they can write freely. So sometimes it's great, other times it's stupid, you know. But yeah. But then, so because it's extreme usually to, it's like YouTube videos too, you know, like how they do YouTube, people do YouTube videos, for example, they put the title for clickbait and so on, just like that. Our weekly magazines tend to do the agitation. So it's easy to take advantage of that to benefit Russia. So they do that, so yeah. And bears, and about Prime Minister. What is this? Oh, to make a you know, self-defense forces members to get treated better, and this existential threat, like regarding China and Taiwan and so on. But the biggest thing, of course, is the strong economy. The measurement for rising prices are needed. Yes. Oh, there's a consumption tax. How to say that? I don't know how to say that. To live off by of taxation money, medical thing, and so on. And bookstore. Okay, anyway. No more super chat. Botting, yeah, bot farm. Donnie was late to the stream and watching Hawaii upset San Diego State tonight. Cool. I was watching a figure state. Is it the same in English? Figure state skate yesterday, because NHK is holding a competition. Yoko, do you like Hachiju Hakasho Junde? I have been listening to their new album recently. Ooh, they are a band? Never heard. Russia will never forgive Japan for 1945. They got their revenge in 1945. Yeah. It's probably traumatizing for them. Kamiya from Sanseito got to speak at the diet this week. Yeah, because in House of Councilors they have seats, but not in House of Representatives. Pew, pew, pew. Kamiya is a tricky guy because Sanseito is full of contradictions. And they're not with us. They say they're with us and that they want to have a broad support and so on. No. The fact that they can't even criticize China and Russia, they're not even conservative just by that. So they're not even conservative, so they're definitely not even right-wing. They're just copying MAGA movement though. And they are just right-wing in fashion. So, but they're at least though the people are nice though in the party. They're open and they want to get more support, so they are nice to people. So that's good. But I'm not a politician or anything, you know, and so I have to criticize our politicians when they're wrong. They never criticize LDP's corruption either. Yeah. Oh, I thought about something. What was that? There was something I wanted to think about. Oh, Russia. So Sanseito doesn't criticize Russia, right? Like they love Putin because they're brainwashed. And it doesn't match our historical understanding of conservatives and patriots and so on. So it doesn't make sense as those who are on the right side. It's just impossible for Japanese conservatives or right-wings to like Putin. Logically, it just doesn't make sense, right? But they love Putin because they want to copy what the Western right-wings are doing. Yeah, but Russia, when Takaichi became prime minister, Russia criticized Takaichi for visiting Yasukuni Shrine, for example. And basically like a revisionist type of thing that China always says. It's the same as same with Russia, you know. Let's see. Man, I can't get the news right away because it's renewed. But yeah, the earliest news, like they were criticizing. They probably changed the tone later, but yeah, they were referring to the Yasukuni Shrine and so on. So then Sanseito their members visited Yasukuni Shrine together on August 15th. That's the day that we believe that, like our emperor back then said that, we should stop fighting. So that's the day for us. That's the end of the war. So on that day, Sanseto members visited Yasukuni Shrine. And Russia, they're, dear Putin probably dislike it, right? So that's interesting. But they don't even care. They don't talk about it because who knows what's behind of all this. Anyway, my pastor loves Dodgers and went to the World Series Game 3, the longest game in the series history. Oh, the one with like 18 times or something. He joked he got 2 games. Oh yeah, right? 2 games for the price of 1. 9 plus 9. 18 innings. Team Japan did great. Yeah, I remember that day. So crazy. Ohtani Shohei is 6'2", 188 centimeters, but I wonder if he would be so popular if he was 5'10". That's a good point. He is tall. It's so weird to see a Japanese man being that tall. Sometimes we have it, but it's really, really rare. But I've heard though that if you want to be taller, like when you are young, you need to pressure your heels. Is it heels of your feet? Especially at night before you sleep, to pressure it, like jumping helps, and also like just bam, bam, you do that, then it stimulate the hormones to grow, like your growth hormone will be there for you for your height. At least that's what I heard. So maybe that was a trick. I don't know what he did, but yeah. When Asians are tall, like the impression really changes. It is really interesting. Even the Asian actors, doesn't have to be Japanese, like Hong Konger or Chinese. They look so much different from what we are used to. So it's really, really interesting. I really like the Asian actor. I don't even know his name. He was good looking. I wonder if I can. Is it? I can't even spell the character name, so. The first guy of this. Now I look. He doesn't look good in pictures. Never mind. He looked great in a TV show. In pictures, not too much. Oh, super chat! Thank you so much. Have you ever watched the Greg Flet show? If yes, your opinion. Is it on Fox? That name looks familiar. Let me see. Greg. Wasn't he his? No. What? Maybe I'm confused with something. This guy? I don't know. I can't tell. Does she have access to Fox News? I mean, Fox News has YouTube videos, so sometimes. Fox. Oh, that guy, right? No, like it looks fun, so I try. I've tried it a few times, but I can't really get it. Probably like cultural barriers are there, so it's hard for me to understand what they're saying. Is he good? Is he good? I love Mark Levine though. Really serious, angry man. But his tone, Mark Levine, his tone is so much like Japanese conservatives. Like that's the world that we live in. You know, the atmosphere that he has, the tone, aggressive tone. Like if you look at my Japanese channel, which I created in this summer, I'm acting goofy on the channel. It's called Shin Random Yoko, which I haven't updated for months. But because Ishiba is gone now, our former prime minister is gone now, so I have nothing to complain. So like that's why I haven't updated that channel. But yeah, like we have that aggressive tone, so yeah, tells it like it is. Supposed to be a comedian name, folks. I do understand some stand-up comedians, but yeah, but for some reason, it's hard to understand him. Yoko, you still look more radiant than before. What is radiant? Is it a filter? Radiant. Glowing. Actually, they have this. Do you see the difference? You can't really tell. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what is changing. Like, they have this lighting now. I don't know. Thank you, though. But my skin is getting better. Actually, look at my cheek. Like, how do you get rid of these cheeks? I've been, when I can, I walk in the park like an old lady with like big hats and like this type of clothes, and I'm like, right, super fast. I walk too really fast, and also I massage my leg every night, and it really helps my skin. It's so crazy. And also probably like that's why I'm a little fit. Like my face is, even though I still have these cheeks, it's a little slim compared to before. Yeah. Levine is too much for Israel. That's the tricky part of Americans, because like Japan wants to believe, Japanese people want to believe, at least like unless they are extreme leftist, we want to believe that Japan is like the number one alliance of the US, because to us America is the biggest, best ally, on earth. But for America it's Israel. UK? My husband says UK. Isn't it Israel? UK? It's so weird though, because America got independent from the British Empire, right? I don't understand the I don't know. Japan has been Japan from the beginning, so like that sort of things I don't understand. Yeah, glowy, yay! It's due to the light probably, but it's great that I can. What's that word? Hansha. What is hansha? Reflection, of course. Reflection. I'm reflecting the light. Isn't it interesting though that we are all like this looks pink because of the light, and under different circumstances it's not pink. Isn't it interesting? Just like that, we learn about ourselves only in reflections. You never get to see your real face, unless you die, and one day maybe when you are spirit you can see your body before leaving. I have no idea. but you can't even see yourself. You can't see your patterns as a third person, and you can only learn from the when you interact with the others, and it's always the reflection. No wonder we have a mirror in shrines here in Japan. Reflection is everything. We see ourselves in others and we learn ourselves through others, and that's why we bow. Like, thank you. I am Japanese and Irish and English, but I am American. How's that? Only, what's the word? Capitalized? I am Japanese and Irish. That would create a good like metal song. I am Japanese. Also married to an Okinawan. Cool. I didn't know that you were married to Okinawan. I want to go to Okinawa one day. Hokkaido and Okinawa, I need to go there. And also Australia. I want to visit one day. It would be cool. Ne? Oh, he's been to Australia when he was young. He has my husband has been to Australia, and how do you say it? Like hugged a koala, like picked up a koala. 臭いのでも。お花悪いからね、でもね。I asked him if, like, I hear the koalas stink. So I asked my husband, but then my husband has a bad nose, like he can't smell well. So like he's like, My husband's favorite foods all stink, by the way. Because his nose, he can't smell things, you know, so when food smells something, he's like, oh, it smells good, you know. Koalas give good hugs, I imagine. Yeah. Wombats are the cutest. Ah. No to China. No to China. When we in Japan, I mean in Tokyo, there was a time like during COVID-19 time, we had a protest against China, and one of the things that we were chanting is like, you know, what was it? COVID virus made in China, and we were yelling that, chanting that in Tokyo repeatedly, made in China. Yeah, we were serious, but at the same time, I'm like, this is kind of goofy. Durian? Wow. I've never had it. I hear that it smells really bad, but I'm terrified to try the Swedish. Isn't it Swedish? Like there's this fish can that is supposed to smell really, really bad. But then I love natto. I love natto. I eat natto every day because I'm so Japanese. And many foreigners cannot take it. It does smell like bad. Like some men have like smelly feet and it smells like it. Still, I can enjoy my natto. Why does China get angry at Yasukuni Shrine? Because they believe that Chinese people were atrociously like slaughtered by the Japanese soldiers while they were killing each other. Yuck. from what I know, in Malaysia, it's even prohibited to eat durian in public. Really? Interesting. Because of the smell, like it's bad to the public. No durian sign in Singapore trace. Wow. Maybe when we have, um, hopefully we won't, but if we have more foreigners in Japan, maybe we will have on our trains, like no natto on train. Would be funny. Use one case, either uppercase or lowercase, because those characters are like separate alphabets to Japanese people, kind of like hiragana and katakana. Yeah, I think I have told you before, but like when I first got Linkin Park album, Hybrid Theory, how old was I? I was still in junior high school. Like I was 15. And their lyrics were all in cap, so it was all capitalized. So I couldn't read a thing because I was used to reading lowercase but not uppercase. So yeah, no, not the rotten soybeans. Really, I like it when it's like so that natto and raw egg mixed together. I did it like apple pen, pineapple pen. It's like magic. It's like heaven. Don't eat raw eggs in your country, but in Japan, it's so fresh that you can eat them like raw. So it's been my favorite recently to have natto and egg together. Oh. It really makes you feel so good. I really love fermented foods, so yeah. Even kimchi too, Korean kimchi. I love kimchi too. Anyway, speaking of which, my husband is eating some kimchi. Like that one that we have is actually made in Korea. So, yeah, Japanese kimchi is just seasoned with sugar and so on. It's not healthy. Plus, it doesn't taste good. So we eat Korean kimchi. Yup. No more super chat. Without super chat, my streams end. If you eat raw eggs in Germany, you get salmonella. It's scary. Isn't Japan is like the only country? Why would anyone eat raw eggs if they have a skillet to fry them in? Because when you eat raw, it's like it's mild and it's just good. It's kind of gross when you think about it, but it's not gonna grow. Those eggs don't grow up to become chickens, so it's good. I'm always thankful for those roosters? Is it called roosters? Why in English you guys change the name of the animals? Because in Japan, chicken is chicken. Tori. But yeah. I like spicy foods. Me too. You know what sucks is that all the countries that China is oppressing, they have amazing food culture. It's really good. Tibet, Uyghur, Southern Mongolia, they all, like, their cuisines are so amazing. Like, there are restaurants in Japan owned by them, like there are those who, fled from those motherlands for them because China is colonizing those countries. And it's so good that they have so many potentials, so much potential. And I'm really sad that China seriously is stealing all the amazing things by the colonization. Not only politically and economically, but culturally, we could enjoy a lot of more stuff if they were not occupying, colonizing. Oh, super chat, thank you. I like natto, but we can't eat raw egg in the US. That's what I thought. That's why I need to keep living here. The biggest thing, one of the biggest thing, the reason why I can't live abroad is, of course, I get homesick easily, and in addition to that, just food, Japanese food. I'm so Japanese that I don't think I can survive without Japanese food. Maybe if I live in some Asian town, I don't know. Mongolian metal, yeah, they're cool. Guys, I came across this super funny YouTube today. What's that name? I subscribed actually. It's called Her Last Sight. Some band. I haven't listened to their actual songs, but Her Last Sight. And their shorts are so funny. It's so funny. I really like this metal without distortion be like clip. So let's go. It's so fun. You gotta watch it. But if I play it, do you think they will strike me with copyrights? It's so funny. You gotta just Her Last Sight and then go to the third short, metal without distortion, be like, it's so funny. I'm so glad that I came across this video. Yeah. Metal. Anyway. I'm not receiving much. I am receiving super chat, but should I go? ねえ、ハスバンドさん。Look up 88 queso. Yoko, I think you will like them. 88. Oh, this? The band that you were talking about? 攻撃的国民的音楽。なんだそれ。Oh yeah, Tachibana got arrested. Right? Arrested, right? For what's that in English? Defaming? Defaming? Is it defame? 名誉毀損. It's like in Japan we are having a shift in time, defamation. 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 Okay. He was already arrested before. No, no arrest, just he was guilty already. No. He doesn't have the line, like he crossed the line, Go spend time with the husband, son. He's waiting for you. He's right now looking at his laptop. I mean, my laptop actually. It's so weird. He bought the laptop for me and he's using it. I made sure that when he bought that to me, I'm like, this is mine, right? Like mine, finally mine. And he's using it. Nothing is like my own thing in, except for my phone and so on, you know. My husband just hijacks everything, you know. It's so interesting. Did I ever tell you? Like, my husband has his stuff in every room except for mine, but we have a couple other rooms, you know. I don't know why. It's like a marking, like how dogs do, you know, like gotta show that it's my room, you know. It's everywhere, man. My father does the same thing. Back home, my dad's books and so on. It's in every room. Like it's like spreading. So it's crazy. Yeah. 夕食ね、ないんだよね。夕食を食べなさいって言われました。作ってくれなきゃない。I have to cook for him, it seems. Sometimes when I am having a live stream, you know, for a long time, my husband, you know, fixes something. Seems like not tonight. No. Greg Gutflet show is a political comedy show. Cool. Okay. Yeah. 食べ物 I don't know where. 食べ物食べ物 Yes. It's interesting. Like I saw some description about like 食べ物. Like they were making a big, like I don't know how to say. They make, I don't know. Like 食べ物 is just the way that we say things, but it was like they are adding some cultural context to it, so that was interesting. Okay. Anything I need to say in the end? Wait, I just saw randomly I saw the advertisement here, and I see like bear face. Bear. To avoid, it's like Suzu. Is it what, bell? Little ding 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 kind of bell. Bell to avoid kuma, bear. Kumading. Kumading. Because ding ding ding, right? Like a bell sounds like ding ding ding. And we say like ding ding ding. Kumading. Bear. So like because bears do not like this type of bell sounds. I hear that they are used to it by now though, but bears are said to dislike the sounds that do not exist in like naturally. So you should be, oh yeah, a good way is to use like a plastic bottle. Oh, earthquake. I see breaking news, earthquake in Tohoku area. That's everyday life in Japan, by the way. We often get like breaking news, you know, but earthquake breaking news. Oh, where? Did we feel it? You know, that's what happens. But sometimes though, earthquakes is like you see like a small earthquake updates, and you assume like, oh, it's a small earthquake, and you don't think about it much. But then it turns out that it was the pre-shake of the actual big earthquake, so that's scary. But yeah, so our top news is Tachibana getting arrested for defamation and let's see, figure skate that happened yesterday. That's about it, I guess. Okay. My cough is still there. Like at night, I get it, but it's getting better. So hopefully, in a few days, it will be gone. Okay. Yeah. 食べ物 means all foods including ingredients, but 料理 is the word for cooked food. Yeah, I always just say 食べ物 for all foods. that works. What did he do for defamation? I don't even know. Is it election related? Because he was already guilty for some election campaign, I think. Like in Japan, people just say things out of assumptions and just fantasy. Some people are delusional. As for Tachibana, he just does it. Like, I don't think that he cares that he's arrested and so on. Like, as long as he can sell his name, that's good for him. But politically speaking, I don't think that he can go on like this anymore because being guilty is really terrible. Daiso sells bear bells cheap. Yeah. I used to wear one, like a little bell, when I was a elementary school student. I had a randoseru, like is it like a Dutch thing, like backpack, Japanese backpack, and then I put like bear spray, maybe, but I don't know. Like where bears show up, it's rural. It's so hard to say. Rural area in Japan. Rural area. Oh my gosh, rural area. Areas in Japan. So elderly people are living there, so they just go get mushrooms in the woods without that sort of fancy things. So, ryukusaku. No, it's a randoseru in school. Randoseru. Rural. It's a Japanese people, most Japanese people feel embarrassed to make the R sound. Because we don't have that sound in Japanese, So like similar sounds is rarirurero, and it's right between L and R. Like let's say this is your mouth, right? Like this. Imagine this, your mouth, right? So L is like here and R is like here, right? And then rarirurero is here on the top. La. Right? So we don't have the R, right? So even I feel kind of, I feel, there's a bear coverage already. Second news bear. But yeah, so I kind of feel a little bit shy when I say like rural. Rawr. Yeah. Hassan Piker says Japan is sassy towards China. Sassy? That's interesting. That's a new take. What is the difference with shokuhin? Shokuhin sounds like merchandise, but it's my understanding, so I'm not sure it's accurate. But shokuhin, it's more of like a social explanation. Like merchandise, I think. You have good R's. Thank you. I heard that in Japan, if your English is too good, other Japanese people will kind of shame you for it or make fun of you. Yeah, it happened all the time with me. Like I remember in high school, I had a music class, and we were singing "Stand by Me" in class in English. So like, oh darling, darling, stand by me, right? I was just singing like that, like stand by me, oh, stand by me, right? And my friend in front of me just turned back all of a sudden, and I hear the good English. And it's just like she didn't really make fun of me, but I guess that she was annoyed because I was not harmonizing with the rest. Like because I was supposed to sing like "Stand by me," right? Stand by me, oh, stand by. Like what is that, right? To me, I'm like, right? It's stand, right? But I don't even know. It's a British song, right? Is it Beatles? So maybe the pronunciation might have been different, but maybe they're doing it right with a UK accent, British accent. Stand. Stand up. Is it American? Is it American? I don't know. But it's stand. Yeah. So when I sing like English songs at karaoke, my friends were like, what? They were impressed that I can sing in English. It's, it was interesting. Yeah. And don't most Japanese schools teach English? Yeah, but like, it's weird because you need to imitate. You gotta copy the native speaker's pronunciation, right? Because that's the true language, right? Like that's what I'm trying to do, right? Like you can see that in me, but Japanese people, I guess that it to us it probably looks like a impersonation. Is it impersonation? Like we're like a imposer, pretending to look cool like Westerners or something like that. Like there's a psychological thing like, oh, that person is trying to look like a Westerner, like, oh, she should look herself in the mirror or something like that. Because pretending to be someone that she's not type of thing, if that makes sense. Because you're not American or other English speaking country people. Yeah, but to me, like when I hear like non-Japanese people speaking Japanese with a correct pronunciation, or at least trying to, it looks cool to me. They like I'm impressed. Like, how do they know? And the efforts look beautiful. That they're sincerely learning the language, and it's such a compliment to our language and our culture, right? So I want to do the same for people in other countries, but yeah, it's Japanese people just need to be the same. We if you stand out, you gotta be as good as, like, for example, Otani. Like if you are extremely good at something, then you're like, oh, wow, amazing. But if not, if you do something different, you're like, everyone is like, so I'm Welsh, but I can't speak that gibberish. Really? Welsh. I have had an Australian professor during university. I have 4 teachers, right? Okay, I had an intense program only for 2 years in university, like all classes, at least taught by them, like 2 professors each grade. So freshman and second year, is it called sophomore? I forget that term. Yeah, I had Two Americans in the first year. The second year had Australian and American, and Australian accent was something I was listening every day too. He was so cool, with skinhead, bold, and very tall and kind of gothic, and yeah. Who's better, Roosevelt versus Trump? Trump. I mean Roosevelt. Which Roosevelt? Isn't there two Roosevelt? Teddy? Is he? Teddy, right? Yeah. Franklin is the worst. But Teddy was the good guy, right? Yeah. But Trump is good. You can speak English, but it must sound like katakana or not like English. Otherwise, Japanese people call you a show-off. Yes, exactly, Misebirakasu. Yes. FDR was like a Wilsonian. He was bad, and he just didn't like Japan. FDR, he didn't like Japan, and he liked China. Yeah. Yes. I don't know why. Man, I see no more super chat, so I should go, right? She knows better American history than most students. American students. Yay! Hopefully, I know more states than many Americans do. Like I sometimes see when YouTube was just beginning, in 2005, 6 or so, I was already watching YouTube, and early on there was this channel that was interviewing the people near the beach of California, and it was so interesting because he would ask all the states, can you point which state is on the American map and so on, and they get it wrong and so on. It's funny. I mean, I can't. Some areas of Japanese map I'm so vague because I'm not good at grasping that sort of things. But anyway, FDR put Japanese into internment camps. Yeah, that too. And also just to start the war, he framed us. No. Do you think the government shutdown will end this week? Is there a government shutdown? I'm not following the news well. No. I hope that everything will work out eventually, in all areas of all places of the world, because change will cost a lot. Change is always it will have sacrifices, it will have pains, but it's only temporary. So yeah, I haven't read this, what they are talking about. Huh? They're dispatching military? Oh, it's about ICE. Justification by the authority of the president. So it's a little criticism, I think, because it's citing from American people, as I showed you earlier. Anyway, okay, I want to stay, but I guess I should end this stream, right? Yeah, newspaper has color. Yes, it does. Yes. Okay. Man, I gotta watch the Netflix show called is it Spycraft. I saw this series. I mean, or is it only eight episodes? Spycraft, and it looks fun. I gotta be familiar with espionage, so I'm gonna watch that. 知っとるやろ。スパイって、my husband is like, oh, you knew the word espionage? I'm a better speaker than him. Of course, I know more vocab. Espionage. It sounds cool. Espionage. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thank you. Thank you for Yoko tax. Okay. Thank you. Whoa. 442 Japanese American battalion did fight in Europe. Yes, they were Americans. Fought for America as Americans. Okay. Okay, I will try. Give you another try then. Okay, gotta go. Prediction. Prediction. I have a good prediction, but I can't say. I'm planning on something. Anyway, husband sounds like a fun guy. He is. He's the love of my life, and also he's my best friend. Like, he's the only guy that I talk to. I mean, not only a guy, like, he's the only person that I talk to on a daily basis, and I don't know why I'm not going crazy. I don't have friends. You guys are my friends. I don't have friends, so I do talk to some foreign friends for political activities, but that's it. I don't hang out with people. I'm a lone wolf. He's my only person, literally. Okay, anyway. He doesn't always hide as his name is spelled. Yeah, he's eating. And I probably should make some miso soup. Okay. Thank you guys. Sure, it's your hobby that keeps you sane. Yes, he has common sense and everything. So yeah, and also he's talkative. So like even though it's only one person, he talks like there are like 10 people, if you know what I mean. Anyway, thank you. Have a great night. Okay, thank you for coming, even though it was late for many of you. And if you're in Europe and other places, have a great day. Okay. Oh, yeah,